Have you ever wondered about the chilling tales that lurk in the shadows of St. Augustine, Florida? Well, buckle up, because we're about to delve deep into the haunting past of this historic city. St. Augustine, established in 1565, holds the title as the oldest city in the United States. Its rich history is deeply interwoven with tales of the supernatural, earning it a reputation as one of the most haunted cities in the country. From spectral sightings to eerie encounters, St. Augustine has it all. The city's haunted history is as old as the city itself, beginning with its founding by Spanish settlers. These early inhabitants, in their quest for gold and glory, left behind a legacy of conflict and tragedy that seems to have seeped into the very fabric of St. Augustine. The city has been a battleground for numerous wars, from clashes with indigenous tribes to skirmishes in the American Revolution and the Civil War. These bloody battles have claimed countless lives, many of whom are said to still wander the city's historic streets, trapped in an eternal unrest. But the battles aren't the only contributors to St. Augustine's haunted history. Let's not forget the yellow fever epidemics that swept through the city in the 1800s. These deadly outbreaks claimed the lives of thousands, leaving behind sorrow and despair that still echo through the city's old buildings and narrow alleyways. And then there are the tales of pirates and privateers who frequented the city's port, leaving their own mark on its history. Tales of buried treasures guarded by ghostly sentinels, of sailors lost at sea who returned to their beloved city, their spectral forms seen on moonlit nights. These stories and more have shaped St. Augustine's reputation as a city of the supernatural, a place where the past is never truly gone, but lingers on in the form of ghostly apparitions and chilling tales. And so, St. Augustine's past sets the stage for a variety of ghostly tales that continue to chill its visitors to this day. Imagine wandering the halls of Castillo de San Marcos, only to encounter the spirits of soldiers long past. In the heart of St. Augustine, Florida, stands the oldest masonry fort in the continental United States, the Castillo de San Marcos. The fort has seen 4 centuries of history, and with such a long past, it's no surprise that some of its former inhabitants are said to still linger within its coquina walls. One of the most reported apparitions is that of Spanish soldiers. Visitors often recount seeing spectral figures in Spanish military attire. These apparitions have been known to patrol the fort's bastions, seemingly unaware of the passage of time, continuing their duty to protect the fortress against unseen enemies. Aside from the spectral soldiers, the Castillo de San Marcos also has its fair share of tragic love stories. One of the most infamous tales is that of a love triangle that ended in sorrow and death. The story revolves around Colonel Garcia Marty's wife, Dolores Marty, and his trusted captain, Manuel Abela. As the tale goes, the colonel grew suspicious of his wife's relationship with his captain. In a fit of jealousy, he imprisoned them both in the fort's dungeon. When he returned to free them months later, he found them starved to death, locked in a final embrace. Today, visitors claim to hear the faint echoes of a woman weeping in the dungeons, believed to be the spirit of Dolores mourning her fate. Some have even reported seeing the ghostly figure of a woman in Spanish attire, wandering aimlessly around the fort, believed to be Dolores in her eternal search for freedom. Today, the echoes of these tragic tales continue to haunt the fortress, leaving an eerie reminder of its past. The Castillo de San Marcos is more than just a historical landmark. It serves as a silent witness to the triumphs and tragedies of St. Augustine's past, a past that continues to make itself known through the ghostly apparitions that roam its halls. Ever heard whispers when no one's around? At the St. Augustine Lighthouse, this is a common occurrence. In the late 19th century, a tragedy befell the lighthouse keeper's family. Heinz Pitti, the keeper, and his family lived on the lighthouse grounds. One fateful day, Pitti's 2 youngest daughters were playing with a railcar that was used to transport materials from ships to the lighthouse. The railcar derailed and plunged into the bay, claiming the lives of the 2 young girls. Since then, visitors and staff have reported hearing the sounds of children's laughter echoing around the lighthouse and seeing 2 little girls, dressed in the clothing of the time, playing in the yard. But the Pitti sisters aren't the only specters said to haunt the St. Augustine Lighthouse. Another spirit that reportedly roams the grounds is that of Joseph Andrew, a former lighthouse keeper who fell to his death while painting the tower. It's said that his spirit never left his beloved lighthouse. Sightings of a man on the stairs or at the top of the tower, the smell of cigar smoke when no one is around, and even a shadowy figure in the lighthouse keeper's quarters have all been attributed to Andrew's ghost. And then there's the spirit of Peter Rasmussen, another lighthouse keeper known for his meticulous nature and love for cigars. Visitors have reported smelling cigar smoke and seeing a man looking out from the top of the tower, believed to be Rasmussen keeping a watchful eye over his lighthouse. These aren't just tales spun to frighten or amuse. They're part of the rich tapestry of St. Augustine's history, a history steeped in the supernatural and the unexplained. From the laughter of children cut down in their prime to the diligent keepers who never left their posts, these tales turn the lighthouse into a beacon of the supernatural, casting an eerie glow on St. Augustine's haunted history. In the confines of the old jail, the spirits of the condemned are said to linger. This imposing structure, nestled in the heart of St. Augustine, Florida, is more than just a relic of the past. It's a chilling testament to the city's dark history, a place where brutal conditions and swift justice were the harsh reality for its unfortunate inmates. The old jail was not a place for the faint of heart. Built in the late 19th century, the jail housed its prisoners in the most inhumane conditions. The cells were cramped and overcrowded, with little regard for basic human dignity. The air was thick with the stench of unwashed bodies, and the desperate cries of the condemned echoed through the cold stone corridors. Here, justice was swift and often final. The gallows, a grim reminder of the jail's purpose, stood in the courtyard, casting a long and ominous shadow. The stories of ghostly apparitions are as numerous as they are chilling. Visitors to the old jail have reported seeing spectral figures, believed to be the ghosts of prisoners who met their untimely end within these walls. These apparitions are often seen in the cells and in the courtyard, forever trapped within the confines of their earthly prison. Yet perhaps the most feared specter is that of the cruel sheriff who once presided over the inmates. His harsh rule and lack of compassion have made him a feared figure even in death. Visitors have reported feeling an oppressive presence, hearing the jingling of phantom keys, and even seeing the translucent figure of a man in a sheriff's uniform. The old jail serves as a stark reminder of a time when justice was harsh and life was cheap. But for those who dare to visit, it offers something more, a glimpse into a spectral world where the past refuses to stay buried. In the old jail, the lines between past and present blur, and the echoes of its dark history can still be heard. The spirits of the condemned, it seems, are not quite ready to leave their earthly confines. From the desolate fortress to the echoing lighthouse, St. Augustine's hauntings send shivers down the spine. In this city, the past is not merely history, it's a living, breathing, and sometimes chillingly haunting presence. Let's take a moment to revisit the most chilling hauntings we've discussed, the tales that have made St. Augustine the paranormal paradise it is today. The mighty Castillo de San Marcos, a fortress of stone and mystery, is home to a spectral soldier who still marches on its ancient grounds. The chilling sounds of his phantom footsteps echo in the dead of night, serving as a grim reminder of battles fought and lives lost. His ghostly figure, often seen in the corner of the eye, vanishes when looked at directly, leaving only an eerie chill and the echo of military commands in Spanish. Then there's the St. Augustine Lighthouse, a beacon for the living and the dead alike. The ghost of a lighthouse keeper still tends to his duties, his spectral light often seen moving up and down the tower's winding staircase. His phantom presence is often accompanied by the chilling laughter of two little girls, believed to be the daughters of a construction worker who tragically died during the lighthouse's construction. And how can we forget the old jail? This daunting structure plays host to the ghastly inmates who were imprisoned here in the late 19th century. Their spectral screams and cries for mercy echo through the jail cells, a chilling soundtrack to the inhumane conditions they were subjected to. One apparition, a former prisoner named Charlie, is known to interact with visitors, sometimes tugging at their clothes or whispering in their ears. And so, St. Augustine remains a city where the past refuses to rest, and the spirits of yesteryears continue their eternal vigil. St. Augustine's chilling hauntings are not just stories, they're a part of the city's fabric, a testament to its tumultuous past, and a spine-tingling attraction for those brave enough to listen to the whispers of history.